Now, as we move into 285, UFC 285, which goes down this week, a bunch of big names: Shavkat Rakhmonov, Bo Nickel, and now you got Mateusz Gamrot stepping in on short notice. Can you believe this? Those are three huge names. We haven't even talked about John Jones versus Cyril Gane. That's five huge names, as well as their opponents going into UFC 285. So we got a big one on our hands next week, ladies and gentlemen. Make no mistake about it. And Jalin Turner, who's going to be facing Mateusz Gamrot, says, I'm ready to showcase everything I've been working on. And who else to do it against than Gamrot? A high-level grappler. That's his game. That's his game plan. That's his go-to. He's going to try and take me down. So let's see how much I've improved. This is what he told MMA Junkie. So this is a guy that's on a 5-fight win streak. And, he's going up against a number 7 contender, a chance to jump in the top 6 or 7 in the toughest division in the UFC. And he's got a good chance to get a win, but it's going to be very tough against a guy in Gamrot who's like 21-2. He goes on to tell MMA Junkie he's a good opponent. He's going to come in, try to shoot, try to wrestle. I already kind of expected that from Dan Hooker a little bit, so I was a little bit prepared. It's just another fight. I'm ready to take on whoever wants to step up, and I will always showcase it every time. So this is what Jalin Turner says. He's saying all the right things, and it seems to me like this is even a better opportunity than Dan Hooker. He's more likely to beat Dan Hooker than Mateusz Gamrot, but it's still a good opportunity. Now, he's had 5 wins in a row, but check this out against Jamie Mullarkey. 4:40 left in round 2. And Jalin Turner winning this fight, but he's got to be careful of those takedowns from Mullarkey, as we saw at the end of round 1 for about a minute and a half. Still clearly won the round. But he's tall and lanky. He's susceptible of being taken down. But he's still controlling this fight. Landed some good leg kicks. Now he comes in with a big right. Oh, Mullarkey goes down. He's in trouble. He's covering up. Herb's got to step in. He's pounding away with the left, and Jalin Turner finishes Jamie Mullarkey just like that in the second round. And now we're headed to the main event, baby. Yeah, so that kicks off. Not kicks off. It's right in the middle, but that's along the way to a 5-fight win streak. And I always talk about this with guys like Charles Oliveira, and we told you he was number 13. He'll win the title one day, and he did. He was 11-8 in his career, and before he went on an 11-fight win streak. And Jalin Turner's a guy that can do the same. Don't know if he'll win the title, but he's going to make a run because he's hitting his prime, and he's 5-0, and the sky's the limit. Let's just say over 13 fights he goes 11-2. That would be tremendous, and he's got the capability to do that and get in title contention again in the toughest division in the UFC, because a lot of guys ahead of him, not including Beneil Dariush or Islam Makhachev, but a lot of guys, Michael Chandler, Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje, these guys are getting older. These guys are going to fade away over time just because they're headed on the downward spiral in terms of age. No one escapes age, right? It's going to slow you down at some point. But since this fight was announced, we went ahead and did the prediction. So let's get into that now. Who do you think I'm going to take? I'm a big Mateusz Gamrot fan. So check this out. In the lightweight division at UFC 285, you got Mateusz Gamrot taking this fight on late notice. He comes in at 21-2, taking on Jalin Turner, a guy who's on a 5-fight win streak, and his record is 13-5. So let's get into this because it's going to be a very difficult and conflicting prediction for me. Now, Jalin Turner, 5 inches taller. He's got about a 6-inch reach advantage. He doubles up the inactivity over at Gamrot in terms of significant strikes. He lands about 6.5 per minute rapid pace compared to 3.3 for Mateusz Gamrot. But Gamrot has a good opportunity to stifle Turner because of his takedown game. That can limit the activity, right? So Gamrot lands about 4.7 takedowns over the course of 3 rounds, which is nearly 2 per round, at least 1 per round. Jalin Turner gets about a takedown every 3 rounds, but against Gamrot, it's probably going to be difficult to do because Gamrot has a 90% takedown defense. He was on a 4-fight win streak, beating Arman Tsarukyan, Diego Ferreira, Jeremy Stevens, but he lost the last fight against Beneil Dariush, who's one of the better fighters in the division and is fighting Charles Oliveira in the near future, former champion. Now, Jalin Turner, a.k.a. the Tarantula, Not bad takedown defense, 77%. That'll give him a chance, because this whole fight comes down to whether Jalin Turner can defend the takedowns. If he does, he's going to win the fight. He's coming off wins against Brad Riddell, Jamie Malarkey, Uros Medic, Brock Weaver, and Josh Kulabayo. Now, what's interesting here is you're looking at a guy that's 27 years old, going on 28 in May. He's hitting that peak point of his career. So forget the 13-5 record. If you look at that, you're going to think Jalin Turner is going to lose this fight. And normally, if you ask me, I would always tell you Mateusz Gamrot's going to beat anybody. He's one of my guys. He was on a do list for a while. He's 21-2. Forget about it. But there's something about these fighters like a Charles Oliveira who comes into the UFC and goes 11-8 and then hits on an 11-fight win streak. Jalin Turner is that guy. He's that next guy in the lightweight division. I'm not going to go as far as say he's going to win the title like I did with Charles Oliveira when he was number 13, and that's only because Islam Makhachev is that good. But this is a guy that's going to make a run and potentially get to a title fight, and who knows what happens when he gets there. I think he wins this fight. This is going to be shocking to people. It's a 7 versus 10 matchup, but I think Jalin Turner does get taken down once or twice, but he defends a takedown well enough. He wins 2 out of 3 rounds. 1 round will be very close. Don't be surprised by a split decision. But I think Jalin Turner fights his butt off and sneaks this one out in a huge win to get him in the top 6 or 7 in the division. He'll win by decision. Don't miss this fight. He'll move to 14-5. Mateusz Gamrot will fall to 21-3 here in the best division in the UFC, the lightweight division at UFC 285. Yeah, so we got Jalin Turner continuing the win streak, 6-0. If he can get the win here, and it would be huge. I mean, it'd be absolutely huge. And he's capable of doing it. And it does help that Mateusz Gamrot takes the fight on late notice. I don't think it's the total determining factor of who wins, but it certainly helps Jalin Turner that Mateusz Gamrot doesn't get a lot of prep time for this fight. He just walks in and takes it. If anything, it equals or levels the playing field, in my opinion. We'll have to wait and see how it plays out. Now, in terms of the voting, you already know how this is going to go. Mateusz Gamrot, 65%. Jalin Turner, 35%. Early on, just released his poll. Only 20 votes right now. It'll probably be up to 100 to 200 by the end of the day. But I don't expect it to change. 2 out of 3 are going to go with Gamrot. But 1 out of 3 are going with Turner because of the win streak. And this guy's got a big opportunity to continue winning. I'm just trying to tell you. What is he, 27, 28 right now? Somewhere along those lines. Prime time for the next 5 or 6 years. Prime time to make your money. Prime time to continue the winning streak. If he can continue winning, he'll get a new contract eventually. And it will be greatly more than what it is now. Make no mistake about it. But we're definitely going up against the fans on this one. So we'll have to see how it plays out. But we like Jalin Turner to get the job done. And you know, Mateusz Gamrot's a guy that was on our dude list, which we got to talk about coming up because we got a lot of guys fighting this week that are on the dude list. Shavkat Rakhmonov, to name one. John Jones, number 3. Against Cyril Gane. So a lot to talk about coming up. What's up? This your boy Chris Cross. Thanks for watching. Do me a favor, hit the subscribe button in one of the links below. Then click on one of them clips up above and enjoy yourself. Thanks for watching. Have a great day and God bless. Peace.